What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I'm back with my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Wednesday, March 2nd. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter, @Josh Engleman. Let me know in the comments section who your favorite plays are for today's slate. And finally, shout out to No House Advantage, the presenting sponsor of this video. Use the promo code Awesemo when signing up to get $25 on your first deposit. Now, we're rounding out the bottom of my top 10, and honestly, anywhere from 10 to 2 is the same. Our number one contender is on an island on his own. Everybody else, you can kind of mix and match. But we're starting with Evan Fournier, Brandon Ingram, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Herb Jones, and Drew Eubanks on the outside looking in, who will be my favorites, my top 5 plays for today. It's time to find out. In first at number 5, we have Cole Anthony. Not nearly as good as his FanDuel price, but still fine here. Point guard eligible, 6,900. Projected for 37.5. The goal is 50. He's in the optimal lineup 15% of the time. I gave him 31 minutes. I know Fultz is back. I think he's just going to be the straight backup. 1.2 fantasy points per minute here for Cole. 18 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Slight favorites against Indiana. Pace neutral, but it should be like a relatively fast matchup. I just think Cole Anthony is underpriced here, just by a hair. But honestly, you can see Cole Anthony at 15%, Evan Fournier at 14%. There's basically no difference between 5th and 10th in this spot. So if you're not a big Cole Anthony fan, I get it. Going to Portland for number 4, that would be Keon Johnson, the key piece of the trade with the Clippers. Shooting guard eligible, 3,100. Projected for 21, but the goal, just 29. He's in the optimal lineup 16% of the time. I gave him 16 minutes. They are massive underdogs. Maybe he falls into some extra playing time. 13-point dogs against Phoenix. Basically pace neutral. He's a .83 fantasy point per minute guy. 10 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, maybe a stock and a half. Ultimately, the Blazers are incredibly shorthanded. There are plenty of minutes to go around. They want to see Keon Johnson play, and he's $100 above the minimum. He was the value play on Monday. He's the value play again today. Gabe Vincent in at number 3, point guard eligible, 4,200, projected for 25. The goal is 35. He's in the optimal lineup 18% of the time. It's a .8 fantasy point per minute guy, starting in the place of Kyle Lowry. He's not going to do a ton. It's mostly scoring. 12 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, a steal. It's pace up against the Pacers. They gain a possession and a half. They're 4.5-point dogs, so this one should be competitive. Ultimately, it's 30-plus minutes of a guy that's 4,200. There shouldn't be a lot of convincing on something like that. In at number 2, and this one's up in the air, that would be Payne. Point guard eligible, 4,300, projected for 30. The goal is 36. He's in the optimal lineup 19% of the time. I have no idea how many minutes Payne is going to be able to play today. He's coming back after missing well more than a month. I gave him 26 minutes. There's no Chris Paul in this one, and it was a wrist injury. So as long as Payne's cardio is still there, he should still be able to play standard issue backup minutes plus a little bit more because of no Chris Paul. 1.15 fantasy points per minute in a spot against Portland where they should have no problems whatsoever. 14 points, 5.5 assists, and 4 rebounds for Payne. Maybe you get a stock. Keep an eye on the news if he's limited at all, but if he can get 26 minutes, he's a really nice play at 4,300. Now, before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter @Josh Engleman. Let me know in the comments who your favorite plays are, and then go sign up at No House Advantage using the promo code Awesemo. Your number 1 contender with double the optimal odds of Payne, that is LYLES. Power forward center eligible, 3,300. He's projected for 27 fantasy points, and the goal is 30. He's in the optimal lineup 37% of the time. He's not even close. It's very clearly the best play so long as he's starting again at the 4. 28 minutes for Lyles. He could easily play more. He's basically a fantasy point per minute guy. 13.5 points, 7 boards, an assist, and a stock. Pace down a little bit for Sacramento. Nothing crazy. They're 5-point dogs against the Pels, so it should be competitive. Ultimately, you don't normally get fantasy point per minute guys starting and playing 30 minutes with 2 eligibilities at 3,300. Basically, the only way that LYLES isn't your number 1 contender today is if he isn't a starter. I'm going into the slate assuming he is, at which point, clear-cut number 1 option. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Wednesday, March 2nd. FanDuel and Yahoo versions of this video are around here somewhere. Check them out. Good luck tonight, everybody. Win some money. We're back again tomorrow morning for another edition of the Contenders.